my channel. This is ICD Movie Reviews. My name is Brinker, and of course, Halloween Ends has finally arrived. This movie is the third installment and final installment in this new Halloween trilogy. And of course, this movie is directed by David Gordon Green, who directed those two movies, and stars, of course, Jamie Lee Curtis returning as Laurie Strode. Now, here's the thing about Halloween Ends. I'm not going to talk about what the plot of the film is about until I dive into my review. I'm just going to talk about, for now, what the trailers marketed this movie to be. It's basically the final battle between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers battling out for the very last time in this final installment in Laurie Strode and Michael Myers' legacy. Now, here's the thing about Halloween Ends. I have not too much anticipation for this film because of how Halloween Kills was executed. Of course, I'm a Halloween fan. I love the original Halloween. It's one of my favorite horror films in a long time. You can check out my review of it on my channel. But I really enjoyed the 2018 Halloween movie. I thought that movie was a lot of fun. It definitely does a really good job of capturing the legacy of the original movies. But unfortunately, Halloween Kills continues that legacy very poorly. It tries to do ideas, but it did not work. So because of that, I have not too much anticipation for Halloween Ends. So I went to this movie with a very low expectation. And especially that a lot of people are very divisive of this film. A lot of people are hating on this film because of how this film turns out. I went into this film with a lower expectations. So, went to the movie expecting me to hate on this movie, despise this movie like everyone else does. But here's the thing about Halloween Ends, and you might kill me for this, guys. I don't hate this movie. I don't hate Halloween Ends. Now, before you kill me, is this movie great or even good? No. This movie is not perfect. It has a lot of issues. Is this movie better than Halloween Kills? Absolutely. I thought this movie is heaps better than Halloween Kills. But is this movie a disappointment? I would say so. I would say absolutely, because of how this film did turn out. But throughout this movie, I felt very invested in Halloween Ends. Now, let's talk about the things that I did like about Halloween Ends. First, of course, Jamie Lee Curtis returning as Laurie Strode. She is great in the film. We all know she's going to be the best part of this movie, even though this film is very divisive. She will be the best part of the film. Jamie Lee Curtis is such a great actress, and especially, it's her against Michael Myers for the very last time. Jamie Lee Curtis has to give it all out, and she does a really great job in this film. And of course, when you see Michael Myers on screen, it definitely gives a smile on my face. It's really cool to see Michael Myers on the big screen. But now this is the thing I really want to talk about. The plot of this film. Now, the plot of this movie is not exactly what the trailers did market it, which I will explain the flaws of the movie. But there is a brand new plot in this film. So, I will give away some light spoilers for Halloween Ends. I'm not going to give away too much. I'm going to try to keep it as non-spoiler as possible. But if you don't want to know what the plot is about, you've been warned, because I basically need to talk about this new plot because I cannot review this movie without talking about it. So, with Laurie Strode versus Michael Myers, there's also another plot in this movie which basically takes over throughout most of the movie, and it's about this guy named Courtney. He's a new character in the film who's basically going through a tragedy that makes his character go deep and dark, and he might turn out as the next serial killer with Michael Myers. Now, here's the thing. This is why people are hating on this film, because of this new plot. It's basically a plot where it shouldn't be in this type of film. Now, I can see why people are hating on this new plot. I am not gonna lie. I kind of dug this new plot. I don't mind it at all. The guy who played Corey in the film, I thought he does a really great job in the film for the most part. There are times where his acting gets a little bit shitty at times, but throughout the most part, I did like the actor who played him, and I find his character very investing in this film. It's one of those films that took a lot of risk and trying to do something different with it. And I'm not gonna lie, I do appreciate Halloween Ends for going that risk. And I thought this new plot was actually really well done in this film. I was kind of invested in Corey's character, in my personal opinion. That's when I was enjoying this film quite a bit and thinking, yeah, I can see why people are hating on this film, which I'll talk more during the problems of the film. But I was feeling very invested in his character and his story. I was feeling very interested in this film. And that's why I was thinking that Halloween Ends isn't as bad as people were saying, because I didn't mind this new plot at all. But I can completely understand why people are hating this film, because this is where we're going to get to my issues of the film. I still enjoyed the film. I still did. I thought this movie is heaps better than Halloween Kills. I think this movie has some enjoyment in it. But one of my biggest issues of the film is exactly what people are saying about this film. That the trailers and the marketing of this film completely mislead this film. Like, the whole plot with Laurie Strode and Michael Myers is basically not the main plot of the film. It's kind of a side plot, basically, because of this new plot of the movie. And I feel like this movie is going to completely disappoint a lot of Halloween fans because of it. Because we just wanted to see Laurie Strode versus Michael Myers for the very last time, like the trailer's marketing. And I'm not gonna lie, I was disappointed at that moment with everyone else, because these two films kind of lead up to it, and with this new plot in the movie, this film turns out as a mess, because this movie is trying to put two plots in one movie, and I would say this film is very, very messy, and I would say throughout the marketing that we were expecting a lot of Laurie Strode versus Michael Myers, we don't get too much of that because of this new plot. When we see Laurie Strode versus Michael Myers, and the whole ending of this film is really good, but the problem is there's nothing leading up to it because of this new plot in the movie. And now, another thing that I think people are very disappointed at, and I would say that's one of my biggest flaws too, Michael Myers himself is not in the movie all that much. He wasn't even the main focus on this film. He was basically in 3 scenes of this movie. Of course, the new plot has involvement with Michael Myers, which I'm not going to spoil. It's very hard not to spoil in this review, because there are some moments that I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. But with this new plot, Michael Myers is basically shoehorned away throughout most of this film. Same with Laurie Strode, same thing. She's basically shoehorned away through this film. It's basically telling the story of this Corey kid. The new plot kind of saved the movie for me, but honestly, I was still disappointed of how this film turned out, because this film was not meant to be that movie. This is supposed to be Halloween Ends. It's supposed to be Laurie Strode versus Michael Myers for the last time, and it's basically shoehorned to the side in the film. Like, this film is literally called Halloween Ends, not Halloween A New Beginning. Like, the film really misled itself, and I kind of blame the marketing of this film for people hating on this film, because the marketing has nothing to do with this new plot of the film. And I would say some of the other characters of the film, including the granddaughter in this film, man, I wasn't a fan of her in the first 2 Halloween movies. This film, she is so stupid in this film. She is basically with this new character in the film. She has a bit of a relationship with him, and honestly, I honestly think her character does some of the dumbest decisions in this film. There are parts in this film where I'm like, is this girl for real? And there's even an argument same with Laurie Strode and the granddaughter, and I was thinking, Laurie Strode is completely right, and you're not listening to her. You're just being an over-dramatic teenager in this film. I just find her character really, really dumb in this film. But of course, the biggest issue is how messy this film is, because there are basically 2 plots in this film, that one is interesting and one is also interesting, but it doesn't work together in this film. I think the way to fix Halloween Ends is that maybe the final battle between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers could have been in the 2018 film. It could have just been its own film, and there won't be Halloween Kills. And this new plot of the film with Corey's character, I feel like that should have been like a spin-off movie. It should be like, you know, like a Star Wars story, but a Halloween story with his character. I felt like that would have fixed everything, because I didn't find this new plot that bad. I find this new plot interesting and investing, and I did like his character in the film, but unfortunately it shoehorned into the wrong movie here. With elements with Laurie Strode versus Michael Myers, it just turns out that this film is trying to do 2 things at once, and it did not work throughout the most part. But I completely do understand why people hate this movie because of that issue. And honestly, while I was watching the film, I'm like thinking, yep, people are hating this film because of that. I can definitely see that. I see a lot of negativity without this movie, and I completely understand. But this is just my opinion of Halloween Ends. Overall, I didn't find Halloween Ends as bad as people were making it out to be. I did find some enjoyment with Halloween Ends because of this new plot and this new character, but unfortunately it's shoehorned into the wrong film here. To me, I don't mind Halloween Ends. I don't think this is a great conclusion though to the Halloween franchise because of how messy this film is, but I don't mind this new plot at all. But the trailers and the marketing really mislead the film, and it did ruin this type of film for every Halloween fan in the world. Guys, I don't mind this film. I don't hate it. It is definitely disappointing because it's supposed to be Laurie Strode versus Michael Myers, and it's basically shoehorned to the side. I can literally see why people are hating this movie. But with this new plot in, I honestly don't mind it. I kind of dug it a bit. I know some people are hating for this, but I am going to give Halloween Ends a B-. Yes, I don't hate this movie. I did enjoy this movie, but I'm not gonna lie, I do agree with some people saying, oh yeah, this is not what the plot's meant to be. It's supposed to be about Laurie Strode versus Michael Myers, and that's basically shoehorned to the side. So yeah, This film is an enjoyable movie for me, but it's also a disappointing movie. It will definitely be on that list for sure. So, that is my biased opinion on Halloween Ends. Please don't kill me. I know some people really hate this film. If you want to do something about it, let me know in the comments below what you think of the film. Do you hate this film like everyone else does and agree with those people? Or you agree with me? This channel is all about opinion, so let me know in the comments below what you think of Halloween Ends. Make sure you guys follow me on social media links down below. Facebook, Stardust, Instagram, Twitter, or Letterboxd. Keep contacting with me, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel for my latest movie reviews and movie related content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a nice day.